one of our great nature lovers and nature writers, a man who has done much in securing for the American people the incalculable benefit of appreciation of wild nature in his own land, is John Muir. John Muir, by birth a tall, spare Scotsman, was born on April 21st, 1838. He was emphatically a good citizen. Not only are his books delightful, not only is he the author men turn to when they think of the Sierras, or the northern glaciers, or the giant trees of the California slope, but he was also, which few nature writers were, able to influence contemporary thought and action on those passions to which he devoted his life. It was my great fortune to know John Muir. He wrote to me, before he even knew me, stating his regrets that Ralph Waldo Emerson had come to visit the Yosemite, and Muir had extended an invitation to camp with him under the grove of giant sequoias. But his friends would not allow it to his health, they said. Well, I wrote back to Mr. Muir telling him that I would, if I was ever in his neighbourhood, happily accept such an invitation which Emerson's friend had refused. Fortunately, in 1903, during an inspection tour, we had the opportunity. We were able to camp together under that grove of sequoias, under a cathedral of trees that was ages old when the pyramids were built. We camped under the stars and mountains of blankets, and we put aside politics and simply talked. I discovered that John Muir was a man who was not concerned with the smaller things, particularly in nature. During one day of our camping trip, I heard thrushes off in the distance, hermit thrushes, I believe, and I inquired Mr. Muir what he thought of those birds, and if he could identify them the same as I. As it turned out, not only could he not identify them, he had not even noticed them. It seemed that Muir appreciated the grander things in life, the mountains, the forests, the cliffs, and even the deer and the bears, but not so much with the birds and the field mice. John Muir talked even better than he wrote. His greatest influence was upon those with whom he came in personal contact. But he wrote well, and while his books lacked the peculiar charm that a very, very few authors had, those books will nevertheless last long. Our generation owes a great deal to John Muir, and that includes myself.